All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to play detective because your Ford is trying to tell you something. It's sending out a cryptic message, an error code, and we're here to help you crack the case.
So you're just driving along, minding your own business, and then boom, there it is. That little glowing light on your dashboard that just fills you with dread, right? The check engine light. It's basically your car's way of waving a flag and saying, hey, something over here needs a look.
Now, if you've already plugged in a scanner and it spat out the code P052B, well, you've just found the main clue in our little mystery. But what on earth does that jumble of letters and numbers actually mean? Well, let's get into it. Let's decode this thing.
Okay, first things first. We've got to understand what this cryptic code is all about. What is P052B, really?
Whoa. Yeah, that is a mouthful, isn't it? Cold start, intake A camshaft, position timing, over retarded bank 1. Okay, let's ignore all that jargon for a second. In plain English, it means that when your car is cold, like first thing in the morning, the engine's timing is off. It's out of sync. You see, the camshaft is what opens and closes the engine's valves, and this code is telling us it's basically lagging behind. It's not doing its job at the right time.
Here's a great way to think about it. Imagine an athlete. Their breathing has to be perfectly timed, right? Inhale, exhale, in perfect rhythm for top performance. Well, your engine is kind of the same. The camshafts opening and closing the valves, that's like the engine's breathing. And this P052B code, it's telling you that during its warm-up, that is, the cold start, its breathing is all out of whack. All right, so the timing's off. Big deal, right? Well, yeah, it actually is. Let's talk about why this code really matters and what the stakes of this little investigation are. This is exactly why you can't just ignore it. This isn't some minor little glitch. I mean, listen to this. Finding the root cause is essential, as it can lead to various problems with the vehicle's performance and safety. So yeah, ignoring this can have some pretty serious consequences. And let's get really specific about what those consequences could be. We're talking poor performance, the engine feels rough or it hesitates when you hit the gas. Even more seriously, it could actually compromise your safety. And the big one, if you just let it go, you're looking at the possibility of severe, and trust me, very expensive engine damage. This is one of those warning signs you absolutely do not want to ignore. Okay, so now we get to the real detective work. This code doesn't just point a finger at one bad guy. Nope, it gives us a lineup of suspects. Let's uncover the potential causes. That's right. Your car's computer, the engine control module, has narrowed it down to 4 main suspects that could be causing this whole timing mess. So let's bring them in for questioning, one by one. All right, suspect number 1, incorrect timing. This one's the most obvious culprit, right? It's just exactly what it sounds like. The timing itself is just plain wrong. The physical alignment is off. So here's the deal. The ECM, that's the engine's computer, our little digital detective, is constantly watching the camshaft. It sees that it's not in the right spot, and it raises the alarm. The solution? It's pretty direct. You've got to physically check the timing and get it reset to where it's supposed to be. Okay, let's bring in suspect number 2, continuous oil flow. This one is all about your engine's lifeblood, the oil. See, modern engines have this really cool system called variable camshaft timing, or VCT. It uses oil pressure to adjust the timing as you drive, which gives you better power and fuel economy. It's a hydraulic system, so oil is everything. So what happens is the ECM spots that way too much oil is flowing to that VCT system. And when that happens, the system just can't work the way it's designed to, which, you guessed it, triggers the code. The fix here is to figure out why there's too much oil flow and get it back to normal. Next up in the lineup, suspect number 3, a stuck VCT solenoid valve. This is a small part, but it's a huge deal. Think of this solenoid as a little electronic gate that opens and closes to control that oil flow we were just talking about. And let me tell you, this little guy is a very common culprit, especially if oil changes have been missed. So if this little valve gets stuck open, it's like a gate that's jammed. The oil just keeps flowing when it's not supposed to, and that throws the whole timing system out of whack. The solution here is to check it out, see if there's any gunk or debris blocking it up, and if you can't clean it out or it's just broken, you'll need to replace it. And that brings us to our final suspect, number 4, a binding VCT unit. So what if it's not the timing setting, or the oil flow, or that little valve? What if the problem is with the main mechanical part itself? Well, that's exactly what we're talking about here.
This VCT unit, you might hear it called a phaser, is the actual gear on the end of the camshaft that does the physical work of adjusting the timing. If that thing is sticking or binding up or has some junk inside it, it just can't move like it's supposed to. The ECM sees that it's not moving, and bang, it throws the code. This is often a bigger job, usually requiring a full replacement of the unit. All right, we've grilled all 4 of our main suspects, so let's pull everything together and put it up on the evidence board to see this whole case laid out. And here it is, a perfect summary of our investigation. On one side, you've got our 4 suspects. You've got the incorrect timing, the continuous oil flow, that stuck solenoid, and the binding VCT unit. And right next to each one, the solution. It's a really clear cause and effect. And this is pretty much exactly how a good mechanic would tackle the problem. Start with the simple stuff first and work their way up. Okay, so the evidence is all there. The big question now is, what's your next move? How do you finally close this case and get your car running right again? You've basically got 2 ways to go here. If you're pretty handy and comfortable working on cars, you might be able to tackle things like checking the solenoid. But, and this is a big but, when you get into stuff like resetting the actual camshaft timing or replacing that whole VCT unit, that's a different league. That usually takes special tools and a lot of know-how. So you've got to be honest with yourself about your skills. And hey, there's no shame in this. When in doubt, taking it to a pro is always, always the smart move.
Look, if there's just one thing you remember from all of this, please let it be this. Do not ignore this warning. That check engine light isn't a friendly suggestion, it's a serious heads up. Taking care of this P052B code ASAP is going to save you a world of hurt, a ton of money, and keep you safer on the road.
Your car is talking to you all the time. These codes, they seem scary, but they're not really there to intimidate you. They're just an invitation to listen, to really understand what's going on under the hood. So the question I'll leave you with is, what is your engine trying to tell you? And are you listening?